Thank you, Kate, and thank you for all of you coming today. It is really great honor for me to be here today at this event to raise the flag for peace and justice. This is the first experience for me to join such an event. I know about it, but it is really wonderful to be here. I'm going to tell you two stories to really about war and experience of war and resistance. Over the last 10 years, my work focused on nonviolent resistance of the Bedouin and Palestinian farmers in South Hebron Hills, which is in the south of the West Bank. The community, this is a small community, a few thousand people, lived for generations on herding and small agriculture scale. The Israeli state and settlers' objective is to drive this community out of their land using violence and intimidation. They attack Palestinian homes, they shoot at villages, they kill sheep and goats, destroy food supplies, water tanks, wells, wind turbines, and anything else that they can wreck. I have a colleague there, his name is Hafiz, non-violent activist for years, from a little village called Itwani. He was attacked by settlers while working in his land, which is about half a mile from his house. The settlers attacked him with metal bars, and while he's defending himself, he broke both his hands. No one charged. No one held accountable. The settler totally enjoyed impunity. The irony is that Hafiz was accused of attacking the settlers and held in prison for 2 weeks. The one thing that helped him that day, that one of the international volunteers were able to film and document this event, which is used by the lawyer, which in this case was an Israeli lawyer, to show it in the court and release Hafiz. I want to read a little quote from him while I met him after that. He said, "For those living here, we see that the only power is in the hands of the soldiers." I will put in quotes also in the hands of the people, not just the soldiers. The facts here are created only by soldiers and settlers. We know why we are threatened. It is about the land. We have two choices: to give up or to fight. Until now, we have chosen to fight. Even living with these threats and being targeted, we have hope. The hope is that we are showing the reality to the international community, to the people in the street. These people, you and many, many others who stand in solidarity with the Palestinians. I am sure and confident that Hafiz will be very inspired about this gathering and about this meeting. The second story is really my family story. I don't talk too much about my family, but I thought I will try to share this with you. So this piece is for the memory of my parents, for their resilience, and for all the Nakba generation of the Palestinians. My father died about 20 years ago, and sadly my mom a year ago. And we're witnessing that this generation is dying, those who experienced the Nakba. A small minority of Palestinians were able to stay on their land after 1948, Nakba, and the establishment of the State of Israel. The majority, as my colleague he said, become refugees in the West Bank, Gaza, and the surrounding Arab countries. My family was very lucky because they managed to stay. However, their village, which is called Lejun, was totally destroyed, and they lost their land, home, and everything else, and become cheap labor in the Israeli market, Israeli economy. They become, in fact, internally displaced. On their land, which is about 5 kilometers from where they live, they established a kibbutz, which is called Kibbutz Megiddo, which is only Jews can live in this kibbutz. What sort of socialism is this? What sort of cooperative life is this if it's based on ethnic superiority and apartheid? How can this be equality or justice when the owners of this land live only a few miles away? It was a trauma, pain, and humiliation for my family. It was only after 30 years that my parents really had the inner sort of power to take us and show us the ruins of their homes and where they lived. In fact, until today, there's one mosque standing there which is being used as a carpentry. Can you imagine if a holy place, if a synagogue, if a church would be used in this way? What would we say? We will scream. They thought it will never happen again. Sadly, we're witnessing the genocide in Gaza, a second Nakba. I want to finish and say that hope is a community action, is a responsibility, is people working together. This is what my parents, in fact, passed on to me and my brothers and sisters. It was like a double message: stand up, but be careful. Be proud, but be careful. This what I do. This is actually what I do and promote when I'm working with Israeli anti-Zionist friends and colleagues who stand up and resist the war and the occupation, particularly those in these very dark days who can stand up and refuse to serve in the Israeli army. Those who for practical reasons refuse, and those who are conscientious objectors. With them, I share the vision of hope. With them, I want to share the vision of hope and equal rights for all in Palestine. Thank you very much.